I'm gonna make some tea real quick. Okay, so before we get into this, I have a few things to say. I'm not great at pronouncing words. I'm a poet and my lexicon is somewhat expansive. Somewhat. But I'm still not the best at pronouncing things or reading out loud clearly. So this is just a little learning experience for me. It starts off on page 1 with Dover Beach by Matthew Arnold, which I think is about war. I could be wrong though, so let's give it a go. The sea is calm tonight, the tide is full, the moon lies fair. Upon the straits, on the French coast, the light gleams and is gone. The cliffs of England stand, glimmering and vast, out in the tranquil bay. Come to the window, sweet is the night air. Only from the long line of spray, where the sea meets the moon-blanched land, listen, you hear the grating roar of pebbles which the waves draw back and fling, at their return up the high strand, begin and cease, and then again begin, with tremulous cadence slow, and bring the eternal note of sadness in. Sophocles long ago heard it on the Aegean, and it brought into his mind of the turbid ebb and flow of human misery. We find also in the sound of thought, hearing it by the distant northern sea, the sea of faith, was once too at the full and round earth's shore, lay like the folds of a bright girdle furled. But now I only hear its melancholy, long withdrawing roar, retreating to the breath of the night wind down the vast edges drear. And naked shingles of the world, ah, love, let us be true to one another, for the world which seems to lie before us like a land of dreams, so various, so beautiful, so new, hath really neither joy, nor love, nor light, nor certitude, nor peace, nor help for pain, and we are here as on a darkling plain, swept with confused alarms of struggle and fight, where ignorant armies clash by night. Okay, so I'm gonna just like English class. I'm gonna like pick apart the poem back. Okay, so a few things stood out to me. I like the part where it says the pebbles draw back and fling, and then return up the high strand, and then it goes on to say, with tremulous cadence slow, and bring the eternal note of sadness in. I really like that a lot. I can't really explain why, but I really like the say where it says the eternal note of sadness in. I like that, so I'm gonna highlight. Anyhow, the sea of faith was once too at the full and round earth's shore, lay like the folds of a bright girdle furled, but now I only hear its melancholy. I like that. It shows the not the contradiction, the comparison between what it was like, life like, on the French coast before war. I like that a lot. I don't know which war this is about. I'd like to look at the time. Let's look up what it means. The poem expresses a crisis of faith, with the speaker acknowledging the diminished standing of Christianity, which the speaker sees as being unable to withstand the rising tide of scientific discovery. Oh, so it's not about war. That's interesting. New research and intellectual inquiry casts doubt on humankind's central and special role in the universe. The speaker in the poem senses this change almost subconsciously, seeing and hearing it in the sea that the speaker is looking upon. In its expression of alienation, doubt, and melancholy, the poem is often interpreted as a remarkably forward-thinking precursor, there we go, to 20th century crisis of faith. Like existentialism and absurdism, in essence, the poem is an inquiry into what it means to be alive. Damn, that's really deep. Okay, I've got some things to write down. I want to start with the fact that there's an underlying thing that you wouldn't really see firsthand. Okay, so now I can go back to the things I've underlined and get what I mean. Like, bring the what the heck, that was such a nice meaning. I was really thinking it was gonna be about war, and I'm not like a big fan of like poems like that. I'm not like, war, I love. Okay, continuing. Bring the eternal notes of sadness in. So we can talk about, this would be like the turn of the century. I'm just gonna say turn of base beliefs. I'm gonna see science v religion, which is giving me very Scopes monkey trial vibes. I'm gonna say the sea of faith, which is alluding to Christianity. But now I only hear is melancholy. So we can talk about the lack of hope, you can say. So I'm gonna say the lack of hope when confronted by science. You know what is absolutely insane is the fact that I could have taken my own ideas to what this poem meant and completely made my annotations different, but I'm just kind of doing what the author wanted, the author, like the actual message, and not what I had interpreted to be, because I would just interpret it to be like, it's a war. Okay, to lie before us like a land of dreams. We can talk about heaven. I'll say heaven right there. Okay, that was fun. A Poison Tree by William Blake. I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath did end. I was angry with my foe. I told it not, my wrath did grow. And I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears, and I sunned it with smiles, and with soft, deceitful wiles. And it grew both day and night, till it bore an apple bright. And my foe beheld it shine, and he knew that it was mine. And into my garden stole, when the night had veiled the pool. In the morning glad I see my foe outstretched beneath the tree. And he really likes rhyming, which I think it falls off the tongue nicely. Alright, so I'm going to underline some things before we look at the meaning. The first stanza, I was angry with my friend till I told it not, my wrath did grow. I think I'm gonna say from what I can interpret, I definitely think that it could be compared to healthy relationships, how you tackle your problems. I told my wrath did end. I was angry with my foe, I told it not, my wrath did grow. Completely understandable. If you're not talking about your problems, they're going to fester. It's inevitable. I watered it in fears night and morning with my tears, and I sent it with my smiles and soft, deceitful wiles. I definitely think this continues on with the original theme that I had said, is if you don't conquer your fears or problems, then they're just going to spread. I definitely think that you can see that the author is hiding from his terrors. On the next stanza, it grew both day and night till it bore an apple bright, and my foe beheld it shine, and he knew that it was mine. I definitely kind of don't understand what's going on here. All right, let's my brain's kind of clumpy here, so let's read about it. Okay. The poem details two different approaches to anger, and the first, openly talking about anger, is presented as a way of moving past it, and the second, the speaker outlines the danger of keeping anger within. The poem uses an extended metaphor to describe the speaker's anger as growing into a tree that bears poisonous apples. The speaker's enemy then eats an apple from the tree and dies. The poem is generally interpreted as an allegory for the danger of bottling up emotions and how doing so leads to a cycle of negativity and violence. I definitely think that's important to notice that his foe inevitably dies because of his wrath. Alright. Hi, okay. I really hope you enjoyed it. Honestly, I loved it so much. But I think this is a really good way to read poems. Like, it just spread the creativity, you know? I had a lot of fun, actually. I love dissecting poems, and I think that was really nice. I really like learning about them. I hope you also learn poems with me. Now not reading poem, now no word, no English. I hope you enjoyed me being your English teacher, and I hope you enjoyed dissecting this together, and I hope this encourages you to read a lot more poetry. I hope you write poetry. I hope you start writing poetry. I hope you love writing poetry. I hope you start writing. And I hope you start a book club. I hope you join a book club now. I really do. I want that for you. I want that for you. I want that happiness for you. Yeah, that's really all I had to say. That was great for me. I hope it was equally great for you. And I will see you sometime soon. Sometime soon. But we're good, okay? Goodbye. Mwah. Forehead kiss, like I'm a trampoline.